Hi everyone, we thought we'd bring you TalkShop TV on a Tuesday this week, given the amount of change that's happening at the moment as we ramp up our services as from next Sunday, the 31st of May. So we want to first of all explain a bit about what that's involving. We want to explain about those of you who are being contacted to come back to work and those of you who aren't, and we'll discuss a bit about that. What you should expect when you come back to work and what new surroundings we're all going to be working in as from next week, as there'll be a lot more people around. Talk a bit more in detail about the services we're increasing, where and why and so on. And then I'll cover a bit about funding and looking into the future beyond the 31st. So obviously times are now changing. Those of you who heard the announcement last night by Boris and the government, lockdown measures are going to start easing throughout the month of June, with some schools returning and some years in schools returning and so on. And also non-essential shops will open on the 15th of June alongside a few other bits and pieces, but they seem to be the main headlines. So I think therefore it's fair to say that we should expect more people travelling on buses, and I think we should be doing that, and we should be encouraging people in a positive way. Hopefully you've seen the promotions we're doing at the moment, a lot around the banner of being clean, safe, ready to go. I think it's really important we do encourage people on buses, and when they come to us we manage them in a safe way. And that's another key reason as to why we want to increase frequencies and make timetables better for people, so people can spread out on board and so on. We've got a long, hard slog ahead of us to get the numbers of people back using buses to where they once were, but I think we need to start that process now, and I don't think we should be too defensive about it, providing we're meeting all the guidelines that we're meeting, and I think we are. Well, we are. Firstly, to cover those of you who are at work now should continue coming to work. Those of you who have been protected under the job protection scheme, or furloughing as we've called it, we've begun to contact you directly from home. I know our teams at depots have been phoning up people as well to have some normal conversations, so we're not doing things by letter. We have to do certain things by letter, as you can imagine, to keep things formal on the record, but I'm really pleased that there have been some nice conversations and informal conversations between people coming back as well, to make sure people are comfortable and so on. So certainly that's took place amongst drivers, most of our engineers as well, and indeed to make sure we have space where we can in the workplace. Some people who are working from home will continue to work from home, and again we've had direct communication with everybody involved in this process. Just worthwhile covering any more of that in detail, Lee?
No, I think we've communicated by letter, as Alex said, over the weekend. There's some more letters gone out today, so basically just sort of informing you of we're looking at ramping up. I spoke to the GMs. I know they are calling everyone this week. If you're looking on Transit Exchange, you should start seeing your shifts if you've been invited back to work. Those that are still here will obviously still see theirs. I think that process will just take place over the next couple of days. We've got rosters now, so I think if you've had the letter and you've been contacted and wished and expressed you're willing to return to work, expect a call either today or tomorrow. Yeah, that's it really.
Cool. Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that let us contact you, because there's lots of planning, lots of hard work going on in the depots, by the detailers, the duty managers and everyone and so on.
Yeah, so obviously we're still quite light in the depots, so it's your GMs and SDMs and detailers that will be calling you. So give them a bit of time, and they'll be in touch in good time to let you know what the plan is. But I think it should be today and tomorrow.
Great, okay. And then looking at what you should expect when you come back to work, and what we should all expect sort of after the 31st. lots of work going on behind the scenes at the moment to prepare our fleet by our engineers, who many of them have already come back. So thank you to them. It isn't just about waking the buses up again, it's also about adapting them for normal service. So screens being fitted to all buses, vinyls being fitted to all buses to advise customers how they should behave on board to stay safe, so everyone's looking after each other on board. So guidance is being put in place there. This will include some details of temporary advisory capacity on board, and so we will have new suggested capacities for smaller mini buses, solos and the like, and then a different grade for single deckers, and then a third one for double deckers. So all buses will have a new advisory capacity there for you and customers to look at and observe. It's advisory, I've said that word quite a lot now. I think it's there to basically give you a guide when buses, if buses are full of individuals, so people travelling by themselves, that's the number that you should keep to, which is the number on the bus. But obviously, as we know, some people will be travelling together, and this is why we haven't gone down the approach of blocking off seats, because people will travel together and we want them to sit together. They're travelling in their households, they should sit together, and this is the kind of thing that will make that capacity figure go higher and allow us to carry more people safely. So please use it sensibly. It's there to help you and customers. We've also got an option for you to use a bus full indicator, so people can see if there's a reason why you're not stopping. We'd always encourage you to stop if you can and let people know why you're not stopping, because otherwise people we don't want to start leaving people at the side of the road, and all the hard work we're doing to try and get people back on the bus safely, we don't want to undo by driving past people and people think we're deliberately leaving them and so on. So again, you're excellent people, you know how to look after customers, so let's do that in a sensible way. But we've put all that into to support and help you. We'll be clear around that as part of a sort of welcome pack, or a what's happening now pack after 31st of May, and everyone will see that. Everyone will be given one. We will share that on WhatsApp and in our other range of media as well, so everyone can get access to that. It'll be on the app as well, and so on. And then in the workplace, there's in all of our workplaces, I think there's new one-way systems, guidance as to how many people should be in certain rooms, guidance as to how you should queue up when you're queuing up. I think that the message there is, please try and arrive close to your starting time. It's not helpful to have people hanging around for hours on end before their starting time and after their finishing time, because it just places more pressure on what space we've got. We are limiting people who can use canteens, so therefore we're introducing extra space in certain locations for you to enjoy your breaks, and we're also retiming breaks and relocating some breaks in certain cases, so there'll be more breaks, for example, at depots instead of bus stations and things like that. So again, there's a lot of work involved just to ramp up, but we've also got to think of all like this. So you'll get all this in good time, but we should all reflect that there's it's a real team effort and people are working hard to get to the point we're in. So bear with us if you need to, but I think we're on schedule in terms of getting this information out. Anything further on that as a theme for everyone?
No, I think you've covered most of the bits. When you come back, it will be a different workplace to what you left. So, it's not scary. We're still all here, and it's all good. But there'll be different, changes, and just your patience with us, and it's appreciated. The teams that have been here now have been working hard for all this, and we've adapted, almost daily. But when you come back to work, we'll make sure there's people on site to show you the ropes and go through everything.
Well, I think more than ever as well, I think we're working a real can-do atmosphere, and everyone here is really keen to get things done. We've got this new sense of confidence that we're a group of key workers out there making things happen, and buses have been really elevated in all this, and bus drivers and all colleagues have been elevated as the roles we're now playing. And I think it'd be really great if we keep that spirit going and the respect for what you do by the general public and society stays there, I think. And I think that real positive spirit has kept many of us going, I think. Yeah.
But no, it's good when you're back. We've got sanitizer again for you to take. We've got face masks that have come in today, so they'll be offered out. So these are washable face masks. There's a pack of 2, so you can rotate them each day. Vehicles are safe. We've got screens. We're foggers at every location now, disinfecting with the antiviral fluid every night. We've got more cleaners in. We've got cleaners in the bus stations. We've got cleaners doing hourly cleans in the depots. So it's it's totally different, but it's good.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, different but reassuring, and I think as we said, still, or even more so, more positive and productive and can do than ever. So hopefully, those of you who have been away, should feel that when you come back. Also, as well, we mentioned about what customers are doing on buses to keep you safe and to keep themselves safe. Similar signage. We mentioned the stuff in depots, bus stations. Similar. There'll be similar guidance around bus stations. People should queue and so on. And I think just one message, that we should all share is there will be people out there who will be nervous and will not know what to do, and they're thrust into a world they don't quite recognise, but they may just think it is the same. So don't. We all need to learn not to shout at people, and some people genuinely won't know what to do. So let's just carry on being helpful and guide people, and let's not have a go at those who are getting it wrong. They're probably not getting it wrong on purpose. They're probably just a bit unsure what to do. So let's just all help each other out as we're saying, and let's not sort of be too judgmental if people start getting things wrong. And if you need more support to help you do that, tell us, and we'll give you the support to do it. So all the messages and information to customers is all supported, as well as all the stuff you see on buses. It'll be on bus stations, it's online, it'll be in paper format, it's on notices. We're also doing some PR with local media and newspapers and radio stations as well. So we are trying to get this information out, so letting people know that we're clean, safe, ready to go, but we're backing that up with all the things that we're doing too. So in terms of services, generally, as you probably expect, the busier services will be increased more than the less busier services, so we can provide effective capacity on board. The timetable increases will be focused at the busier peak Monday to Friday times. Less so will there be increases of an evening and so on, where there's little demand for that. The key worker journeys that we've been running across the whole span of the operating day will remain, but generally we're looking to be providing around 70 to 75% of service on our main routes. All that information is now online on our websites. The real time journey planning aspect on the TransDevGo app will be appearing over the next 2 days, because getting the data uploaded takes a bit more time. But all individual timetables are all found via each of our company websites, transdevbus.co.uk. If you guys want to go there and have a look, if that sort of thing interests you or find anything helpful, please do. And that information will all be ready on the app, we say, in the next few days as well. I think just looking beyond the 31st of May, obviously it is our intention to increase further beyond that and beyond those levels. So we are always being ahead of demand, so people do have the space on board. So we're tracking that very carefully. We appreciate your help in that. We'll be tracking how many times bus full messages are used, so we can understand if we need to focus duplications or extra frequency or increased frequencies and so on. So that'll all happen. Again, we'll be monitoring ourselves. With your help, though, always appreciated. And then I think it's fair to say that the funding the industry is receiving from the government is not going to take us very far into the future, and so negotiations are still ongoing between the industry and government to make sure that the funding takes us through to the market returning. So that will still remain a bit of a challenge. So there are still, we still need to think carefully about resources and costs. As we mentioned, the business is secure, but like the rest of the industry, we would appreciate the funding to make sure that we're being able to manage and balance the impact of the loss of revenue and the costs we're incurring more on a weekly and month-to-month basis. As was said, and it hasn't changed from when Mark spoke to you a few weeks ago, the business as Blazefield is in a safe position in terms of the cash reserves we've got to support us, and Transdev Group remain very supportive in the long term, but we just need to now manage where we are on a week-to-week basis. So again, there's lots of work ongoing behind the scenes there to make sure we're doing a lot to protect everybody too. Saying all that, the capital investment programme we have for this year, we've remained committed to in terms of the vehicles arriving. We spoke about that in the last few times. That's all still happening. We feel it's really important we carry on investing in our services, and we get growth, and we carry on exceeding expectations of our customers and get people out of the car and so on. Lots of conversations ongoing with local authorities as to making sure we get bus priorities out of this, and we don't just give away town and city centres to cars, and that we work in harmony with the work that's ongoing to give more space to pedestrians and to cycles. We've made it clear that buses really need that space as well, and we don't want to just be giving space up and find that we're sitting in congestion with cars instead. So again, lots of work going on there. And in terms of continuing the investment, we've committed to a range of improvements at every workplace. I think it's fair to say across the island, every location is going to benefit from some investment.
Investing in vehicles, and it's good to invest in us and colleagues. So we've identified areas in each location to invest in. So canteen areas, training rooms, office facilities. So we've been quite busy with that over the last couple of weeks, which is coming to fruition now. Hopefully we'll be able to share some designs at some point. But yeah, so that's ongoing, and we can announce that pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is just to, again, a measure of reassurance as to we're committed to carry on investing in our company, investing in you as we move forward beyond this, because we do, as we've said, as we continue to say, we see a future beyond all this, and that's why it's important to invest in our services, and more importantly invest in your workplaces and where you do your work. So we remain the great company that we enjoy working for. I think that's probably it for now. We remain at your disposal. Email us, WhatsApp us, look on the Transdev Exchange app. Small Talk will continue to go out every week for the moment, and we'll continue to carry on giving information to you as and when you need it. I suppose just leave to say a huge welcome back to those of you who are coming back, and make sure if you do need anything, just ask us. That's why us and the management team are here, particularly at the moment. So huge thank you to everyone, what you're doing. Huge thank you to all those who are supporting you, and we look forward to normality slowly returning. Okay, thank you.
Cheers, thanks.